People are back. G, Joe, right? Craziness. This is 5. I don't know if it's 5 or 4 or 8. I don't know, but I know it's disturbing dash cam videos found on the internet right now. I say right now because it'll be some crazy shit. People out there, show me some love for the video, you know what I'm saying? Thank you for some love for the other videos, you know what I mean? Let's get right into it. I'm not gonna make a long intro.
On September 19th, 2025, what should have been a normal commute home turned into a fatal tragedy for 30-year-old Gerardo Jerry Estrada on the busy streets of Highland Park in Los Angeles.
This look like California, if you haven't said it already.
I know a guy in a white arrested him a while back. Oh, okay. He was like into like the whole legal death. Like.
Estrada, who worked as a bartender at a local beer garden and spent much of his life behind a camera as a filmmaker and photographer, was simply skateboarding southbound in the center median, something he often did as a simple way to move through the neighborhood after work. At the same time, LAPD officers were heading northbound in their patrol cruiser with their emergency lights and sirens on, responding to a call to help set up a perimeter for a parolee wanted on a felony warrant. The cruiser was moving quickly through the congested roadway, weaving between lanes, bypassing red lights, and at moments drifting onto the wrong side of the street in an attempt to cut through traffic, where this happened.
Legal death, like kind of like stealing. Yeah, he's more like a thief. Yeah.
Oh, damn! No. Yo, that's real foul. See, the cops think they have power, driving crazy and shit. Damn. Yo, that's crazy.
The next thing, 7 have I respond to what side of Figueroa for Officer TC involved.
It's 97 is requesting a...
He's over here! He's over here!
Damn.
Male, not conscious, not breathing. Subject from
He flew over there, or they picked him up and put him over there?
also have a super responder in the T unit.
Dang, what even happened?
So powerful that people at the nearby carnival heard it from a distance.
Damn.
What had been an evening filled with music and lights was immediately replaced by screams and confusion. Estrada was thrown forward and became trapped underneath a parked car near the median.
What?
The officers stopped immediately, pulled him from under the vehicle, and began CPR as bystanders watched in shock.
Man, the cops think they have power driving crazy just because I ain't gonna front.
Paramedics arrived soon after,
me see
but
this real
despite their efforts, Estrada was pronounced dead at the scene from severe blunt force trauma.
Damn,
As of
that's
late
so messed
November
up.
2025, the LAPD's investigation into the crash is still ongoing. No charges have been filed, and the officers involved have not been publicly disciplined, leaving Estrada's family and the community demanding answers and accountability. Many have raised questions about the safety of police emergency driving practices, especially in crowded urban areas with pedestrians, cyclists, and events taking place nearby. According to reports, the officers' quick and unnecessary lane changes, as well as drifting movements through traffic, may have been influenced by divided attention, since video footage showed them speaking casually moments before the crash. Many have also pointed to the lack of stricter guidelines for driving during non-pursuit emergency responses, noting that incidents like this are part of a larger national concern, where thousands of civilians have died in police-related vehicle collisions over the years. Honestly, even in an emergency, public safety should never be put at such risk. High-speed weaving through a crowded neighborhood with a carnival nearby and people moving through the streets creates danger for everyone, and better training or stronger policies could prevent tragedies like this, especially for someone who was simply heading home, like Estrada.
No, that's really crazy because I ain't gonna front. Listen, man, I got hit by a car before. I know, crazy. Gigi got hit by a car. The only thing is, I didn't get hit that hard, and that's not even a game because that dude flew so far. He went like next to the parked car. All I got to really pretty much tell you, Joe, the cops can't drive for shit. The coppers was literally having a casual conversation, like he said, and then you know what I'm saying, not even looking, driving, swerving through lanes, and acting like an asshole with their, and then you got to pull to the side. Going through red lights. Yo, the coppers have too much power driving like that. Sometimes I see coppers that I know there's no crazy action going on. They just taking the red light just because, like, fuck it, I'm gonna get off work, I'm gonna take the red light. They put the sirens on, they just drive through it. people's assholes. But let's keep watching, you know what I'm saying? But I feel bad for the dude that passed away. And I feel bad for the dude's family. I ain't gonna front.
On November 4th, 2025, what began as a routine cargo flight for UPS Airlines turned into one of the darkest days in Louisville, Kentucky. Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport is home to UPS's massive Worldport hub, a place that moves millions of packages every single day and becomes even busier during the long holiday season. For the workers on duty that evening, everything felt normal as UPS Flight 2976, a 34-year-old McDonnell Douglas MD-11F, prepared for its scheduled departure to Honolulu. The aircraft carried everyday cargo, nothing hazardous, and had been cleared for takeoff from runway 17R at around 5:13 p.m. These MD-11s have served the cargo world for decades, built with 3 engines, 2 under the wings and 1 on the tail, and though they are reliable workhorses, they also have a long history of structural quirks that demand careful inspection and maintenance as they age. But only a few seconds after takeoff, as the aircraft climbed to just about 30 feet, something went terribly wrong.
Crazy. Wild stuff, I ain't gonna front. Damn. People running, everybody, man, that's some wild shit right there. That's some Terminator. I never seen Terminator, but I'm just assuming that's what it would look like. I ain't gonna front. Explosion and fire and shit, damn. What the hell even happened? That's a disturbing dash cam.
People on the ramp who had watched hundreds of these flights leave every week suddenly saw the left engine detach from its mount, flip over the wing, and burst into a fireball, an impact captured on airport cameras and a trucker's dash cam sitting near the runway. Within moments, it crashed through a UPS warehouse, rupturing fuel lines and setting off secondary explosions as it tore across the roof of a nearby petroleum recycling facility. The aircraft then slammed into an auto scrap yard, where the final impact scattered burning debris across nearly 3,000 feet. There were no passengers on board, only 3 experienced crew members, but all of them died instantly. 11 people on the ground were also killed, including a 3-year-old child and her grandfather who had been near the warehouse when the fire spread through the area. In the first reports released by the National Transportation Safety Board, investigators pointed to metal fatigue in the engine mount, specifically cracks in the aft pylon mount lugs, as the likely cause of the engine separation. The findings drew immediate comparisons to the 1979 American Airlines crash in Chicago, where a similar structural failure brought down a DC-10, the earlier cousin of the MD-11. The aircraft involved in the Louisville crash had recently spent 6 weeks in repair for a cracked fuel tank and had documented corrosion in several areas, yet its last detailed pylon inspection went back to 2021. Investigators noted that its high flight hours and repeated takeoff and landing cycles placed extra strain on components like the engine mounts, and questioned whether existing maintenance intervals were enough for older airframes still operating daily heavy cargo schedules. There were also concerns raised about inspection thresholds for aging fleets, with early findings suggesting that more frequent checks could have detected the fatigue cracks before they grew large enough to cause structural failure. Unfortunately, the crash left behind a path of destruction, a long investigation, and difficult questions about the continued use of older cargo aircraft during the busiest months of the year, where any overlooked detail inside a metal structure already pushed to its limits can lead to consequences felt far beyond the runway. On August 10th, 2025, what began as a routine traffic stop on Interstate 26 in Orangeburg County, South Carolina, slowly unfolded into a tragedy that no one on that highway could have imagined. Around 2 a.m., in the quiet hours before sunrise, Officer Dennis Ricks pulled over a white Nissan Altima that had been weaving across lanes, raising concerns of distracted or impaired driving. When stopped, the driver admitted he had been watching a TV show, reportedly Breaking Bad, while behind the wheel, a dangerous habit that explained the erratic movement of the car and set the tone for what Ricks believed would be a standard traffic-related interaction on the eastbound shoulder. But as Ricks, wearing his reflective vest and carrying out the stop from the safety zone along the shoulder and speaking with the driver, this happened.
Hello. How you doing? I'm good. I'm Trooper Dennis Ricks of the South Carolina Highway Patrol. The reason I was stopping is because you keep hitting your lane or the line there on the roadway. Are you okay? Yeah. I just want to be honest. You what? Yeah, and I'll be honest, I know I shouldn't do that. Yeah. I'll take it down, but please do. Yes, okay, so you also, somebody's also calling in saying you were touching the line, and I witnessed you touching the line. I understand. I see you watching, was that Breaking Bad? Unfortunately. It's a good show, but
Number of sellers.
it's not.
Yo, that was a nice cop. Yo, they always take away the real ones, you know what I'm saying? That cop was probably not gonna give him a ticket or nothing. He probably be like, you know what I'm saying, a warning, next time you do it, I'm gonna arrest you. But yo, he got hit by a truck? No, that's out of pocket, I ain't gonna front. That's really messed up. Nah, that dude, that trucker guy right there.
No! Call 911! Call 911!
Damn, that's fucked up.
The road ahead appears stable, the atmosphere quiet, until a box truck driven by 45-year-old Anthony Aidlet begins drifting.
You know this guy chugs beer while
Hits Ricks'
truck driving.
car with a violent impact and continues forward, striking Ricks himself and throwing him across the pavement with overwhelming force.
Damn.
An Aidlet's own 911 call, where he claims that Ricks had been standing in the road and that he tried to swerve, even though the video makes it clear that the trooper was positioned entirely on the shoulder where he was supposed to be. Luckily, first responders arrived quickly and found Ricks alive but critically injured. Bad weather meant no medical helicopter could fly, so he was rushed by ambulance to a hospital in North Charleston, where doctors attempted to save him. Unfortunately, 3 days later, on August 13th, 2025, he passed away due to the severity of his injuries, leaving behind his wife, Jade, who later described him as a man defined by compassion, patience, and a real sense of duty. What's disturbing was, the driver of the truck, Anthony Aidlet, already had a suspended license and a long history of traffic violations, including careless driving convictions from the late 1990s. He was arrested and charged with reckless homicide and driving under suspension. As of late November 2025, he remains in custody at Orangeburg County Jail, unable to post the $225,000 bond set by the court, and no trial date has been scheduled. As per the reports, Aidlet's truck drifted without any sign of impairment at the time of the crash, but his suspended license and past violations show a pattern of unsafe behavior that should have been addressed long before that night. But as you can see how dangerous roadside stops can be, especially on fast-moving interstates during the early morning hours when visibility is poor and attention from passing drivers can be inconsistent. With the right awareness and respect for move-over laws, even the most routine stops might avoid becoming moments that end in tragedy for the people who serve and protect.
Craziness, messed up type of things, I ain't
On
gonna
May
front.
10th, 2025, a 19-year-old found himself in a situation that quickly spiraled far beyond anything he might have expected, turning what started as a simple drive into a fatal tragedy on the Ship Canal Bridge in Seattle, Washington. Early that morning, the young man was inside a speeding vehicle without license plates, heading northbound on I-5 at a time when Washington State Patrol troopers were running special emphasis patrols to target street racing and reckless driving. These patrols are common in that area, especially on weekends, because the long straight stretches of roadway often attract drivers who treat it like a place to race. At around 1:48 a.m., a trooper noticed the vehicle and tried to pull it over, but instead of stopping, the driver accelerated. What could have ended with a normal traffic stop turned chaotic in seconds.
With a vehicle, and he's crashing out 453 Seattle North 5 north of Lakeview.
Damn, it's tires, wheels just rolling in the street, the highway. Freeway, expressway. I don't fucking know. It's some ways. You feel me?
453 Seattle, I'm in
Damn.
pursuit, pitting
Was
the
that the
vehicle.
car? Damn, he didn't have to hit the vehicle like that. That's fucked up. Right?
Step out of the vehicle! Hey!
Yo, he just jumped off the bridge.
Put your hands up!
Yo, this guy jumped off the bridge. I've seen some shit. Man, I seen that person jump off the bridge before and like they still got caught. Another person jump off a bridge, they, you know what I'm saying, broke their whole ankle. Doing that, you're crazy. I ain't gonna front. Damn. Did the dude survive? Cause if he survived, that dude's out of there.
I have the driver out of the vehicle. Passenger jumped over the bridge.
Yo, I can't believe that shit. He jumped off the bridge, yo. There's no way he survived, bro.
The car slammed into two other vehicles on the bridge, and the force of the impact was so strong that the vehicle lost its right front tire, yet it still managed to move forward for a short
The right
distance
front
before
tire, damn
finally grinding to a stop against the side barrier. In that tense moment, with the police approaching and the car clearly disabled, panic took over. A fall from 182 feet leaves almost no chance of survival. He hit the ground far below and was pronounced dead on impact, the trauma far too severe for any kind of life-saving intervention.
It wasn't for that car me thing, the Honda and everything.
That's crazy.
I don't know why he did. I'm gonna be so for real with you. I don't know why he did what he did.
Did he take anything? Or?
I guess he was just on his little kick and was like, all right, cool, I could try to get away. And I was like, by the time I knew what was going on, I looked up and I saw two cars in front of us. I looked at him, I said, I'm lucky I'm unscathed.
Did he say anything?
Nope.
What did he do?
He just got out the driver's seat, hopped out the car, and I guess hopped off the f***ing bridge.
It's not supposed to be funny, but that's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Released, and strangely, no one in the other cars that were hit suffered injuries. The vehicle was not reported stolen, but as of late 2025, investigators still have not confirmed who was driving or why the two teenagers chose to flee from a simple traffic stop. Many people pointed out that this bridge has seen similar tragedies, where crashes, jumps, or moments of panic have ended in fatal falls, raising questions about whether more barriers or preventive measures should be in place. Troopers also clarified that there was no full-speed chase at the time. The short evasion ended almost immediately after the collision, but even that brief moment was enough to trigger a decision that cost a young man his life. Maybe the missing license plates made him fear the consequences, or maybe the stress of the crash left him overwhelmed. But whatever was going through his mind, jumping from a bridge that high is never the answer.
It's never the answer. That was 108 feet.
2013, what should have been a normal
Crazy.
commute for workers heading home through Pinetown, South Africa, slowly turned into one of the country's most devastating road disasters. The kind that builds quietly in the background long before anyone realizes something is about to go terribly wrong. I know the incident is quite old, but the chaos it caused was something I had to cover. That evening, a 23-year-old driver named Sanel Goodness May was behind the wheel of an articulated truck loaded with cargo, making his way down the hill. May, a Swazi national, was in South Africa without
driving the truck. I ain't gonna front.
with a fake driver's license.
Yeah, I do not trust a guy that looks like that
Found to be unroadworthy
to drive
with
a
an
truck
expired
because he look
hill.
like
He later
he
claimed
owns the
that
road.
brakes
I ain't
began
gonna
to fail, and with every passing second, the truck gathered more speed, leaving him with less control and fewer options to slow it down. By the time the truck approached the busy intersection of Richmond Road and Josiah Gamede Road, the traffic light ahead had already turned red for the downhill lane. The vehicles waiting at the intersection had no idea that a fully loaded truck was approaching at nearly 80 to 100 kilometers per hour, and when the cross-traffic light turned green, 4 minibus taxis full of commuters and a Volkswagen Jetta began to move forward, unaware of the danger racing toward them.
See, that's why I said I do not trust a guy that look like that. Should be driving any automobile, truck. But no, that's really not funny. Though. That's crazy, because that look. Yo, you see? Yo, that's so crazy. He doesn't. Yo, that's just. No, I never seen this.
Just in a moment,
Never seen shit like that
people who
before.
had been laughing and talking seconds earlier were thrown into chaos as metal collapsed around them, and the entire intersection turned into a scene of devastation within moments. Emergency responders arrived to find bodies scattered across the road and survivors trapped inside what was left of the vehicles. 22 people were pronounced dead at the scene, with
Wow.
2 more passing away later in the hospital,
Damn.
bringing the total death toll to 24. More than 80 others were injured, some critically, as rescue workers spent hours trying to free people from the wreckage. The truck driver, May, survived with minor injuries and was taken into custody immediately. May later pleaded guilty to 31 charges, including
Damn.
culpable homicide, and was sentenced in 2014 to 8 years and 10 months in prison. He was
Damn.
released on parole in December 2019 and deported to Eswatini. The truck owner faced fines for negligence, including poor maintenance and hiring practices. Later, investigators found that the brakes likely overheated because the truck was not shifted into the correct lower gear while descending. And combined with poor maintenance and the driver's lack of proper qualifications, the vehicle simply could not be controlled on such a steep road.
No, that's so crazy, and that's wild. It's not even funny because I feel bad for those the 20, all those people. You know what I'm saying? It was over 20 people that passed away due to the accident. But I'm just saying that dude look like that should not be touching the steering wheel of any vehicle, because that dude looked crazy at first. He was like, I'm like, oh hell nah, bro, that dude should not be. You know what I'm saying? Flying a helicopter, none of that shit. And the kid that jumped off of the bridge that was 108 feet, I don't think he knew it was 108 feet, but why would he do some wild shit like that? The adrenaline had to been rushing, and he thought he was gonna do 10 years in jail. He thought he killed somebody. This video was crazy, you know what I'm saying? 5 dash cam videos found on the internet right now. People out there, you know what I'm saying? Please show some love for the video. That shit was insane. I'm about to be out. Peace. Hope the best for you. We win. Peace.